Hello and welcome to HD, and tonight is election night 1788. Tonight we will take you through and call the states as the people of the United States and the respective states' legislatures decide the President of the United States, the first in the history of this nation, the first election for the leader of any nation in the history of the world. Remember, 35 electoral college votes will be required to win this contest this evening, and we will now take you through both of our candidates for the presidency. One candidate being George Washington, expected to win, expected to carry all of the states and all of the electoral college votes, and the second, John Adams, the top runner, you could say the best of the rest, the Federalists looking to become the possible president of the United States of America. Will take you through the accomplishments of John Adams first. John Adams was a delegate to the Continental Congress, the United States ambassador to the Netherlands from 1782 to 1788, and then became the ambassador from this nation to the United Kingdom from 1785 to 1788. And George Washington was a delegate to the Continental Congress from 1774 to 1775, and that's when he became the commander-in-chief of the colonial armies during the Revolutionary War, and very much is credited with the success in the campaign of independence for this nation. Remember, John Adams was born on October 30th, 1735 in Braintree Colony of Massachusetts, and was a farmer, teacher, and lawyer. He attended Harvard College and is married to Abigail Adams, going to George Washington, called the father of his country, born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, colony of Virginia. He was a surveyor, planter, soldier, and a general. Martha Washington, his spouse, and education, he was homeschooled, and that's how he got his education. He was as said earlier, he was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and president of the Constitutional Convention. I failed to say this earlier, but John Adams is also called the father of the Navy, and he represents the state of Massachusetts, Federalist from Massachusetts. George Washington is an independent from the state of Virginia. It's now 6 o'clock on the east coast of the United States, and the polls in these states are now about to close. Standby for some major projections. Out of the states voting this evening, from the state of New Hampshire, we can project 5 electoral college votes for George Washington. We are now prepared and ready to make a projection out of the state of Virginia. 10 electoral college votes going to George Washington this evening. Virginia goes to George Washington. It actually appears there's a bit of an error on your screen. North Carolina is not voting this evening, but South Carolina is, and South Carolina is worth 7 electoral college votes. So 7 electoral college votes going to George Washington this evening from the state of South Carolina, not North Carolina, but 7 electoral college votes, all the same. We can now project Georgia's 5 electoral college votes will go to George Washington this evening. Not a big surprise out of the state of Georgia, and it appears George Washington already starting to sweep the country as expected. 27 electoral college votes so far under Washington's name, 0 under everybody else, including John Adams, who we believed would be the biggest competitor for Washington this evening. It is 6:35 in the nation's capital of New York City, and stand by for some major projections. Stand by for a key race alert. The key race alert coming out of the state of Massachusetts, where we can now project 10 electoral college votes for George Washington, and that means the presidency of the United States will go to George Washington tonight in 1788. And there you go, George Washington with the seal of the President of the United States. He has exceeded the margin, 37 electoral college votes currently to his name, 0 to everybody else tonight. The race has already been called, so we're just going to flash all of the remaining calls on your screen now. Pennsylvania, Connecticut, 7 electoral college votes for George Washington. We also can project Maryland, 6 electoral college votes for Washington. President-elect Washington will win New Jersey 6 electoral college votes, and will win Delaware's 3 electoral college votes. John Adams has won the Vice Presidency of the United States, receiving the second highest amount of votes, but George Washington won the contest and will be the first President of the United States, and will be sworn in as stated in the Constitution of the United States. Thank you for watching HD History's Decision Network, where we have just projected George Washington wins the 1788 election and the presidency of the United States. John Adams wins the vice presidency of the United States. Congratulations to them both, and thank you for watching. And make sure you tune in 4 years in 1792 for the election then. Thank you. And good night from New York, the capital.